Hello, 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 hello. Incredible greetings. Incredible greetings, everyone. How art thou? How is everyone doing today? All right, we are going to I'm going to do one for Silhouette. Although technically I have shown this before in Studio. It's really easy in Silhouette. Once you type it out, you're just dragging and dropping your image or just cropping it. But I will just do basically a refresher for Silhouette. But I've been asked a few times as far as, Canva. I've been doing a few Canva tutorials here and there. So there are some who have inboxed me or emailed me and asked about it because it's trending right now. So I'm going to oblige and do a video on how to set up the, trending mom frames, which this technically is not something that's new. They were actually doing these last year. I think the only difference really was the picture in the background. Not really sure where the original one came from, like this year. To where it's like really, really trending now, where people are taking the word mom and putting pictures in it, but now they're also having the picture like in the background and then putting text over it. But this is not a design that's really new. It's just what's trending right now because there are a lot of people who are gearing up for Mother's Day, in the midst of doing their grad things also. So that's what we are going to do today. Like I said, we are going to do it from Canva. So at Studio, really, really, really easy to do. I'll do a refresher one. Doesn't really require a full extensive kind of tutorial, kind of like how Canva does, because Canva, there are some hacks to be able to do things like putting shadows or outlines and things like that on it. So we're going to go through a full tutorial. Allow me to just go ahead and share this out. And if you have some crafty or creative friends who, you've seen inquire about this trend, please do share. All right, so we are all shared out. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to get right into this. I've done my shares. I'm not going to, kind of do a long intro. I'm going to get right into this. So this is, like I said, one of the trends that's going on right now as we're gearing up for Mother's Day 2024. And they are, using frames in Canva to add pictures. And I do have a version where I just did Michelle Obama and her mom, where you would basically put another picture behind it. You can change the color on it or basically take your transparency down. You can also do the dual tone ones to where it just looks like a monochromatic color. So you can do it that way as well. This is kind of like the trend, and they'll have the background. Some people have done it where there's multiple pictures going down, and then of course adding your text, your message. It can be made into I've seen somebody just print it out and put a frame around it. I've seen some people affix it to canvases. I've seen some just put it on tumblers or mugs. It's a design. So once you have a design, the possibilities are completely endless and how you can utilize it. All right, so we're just going to go through how to do this. Now, what prompted this? What the biggest thing is adding that outline in Canva. Sorry about that. The little person came in the room. But one of the main things in the groups is getting that outline around Canva. I mean, around the letters in Canva, because you have to use frames. When it comes to Canva, you cannot do like Silhouette where you're just cropping an image to letters or shapes, numbers. You can't just use your properties dropper and fill it in to just any object, any letter. It has to be a frame in Canva in order to be able to add an image. Well, with those frames, you cannot add an outline around it. If now, the option will still come up, but it will not add the outline to the outside. It's actually adding it to the picture itself, and that's going to be contained inside the frame. I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm just going to pick a frame here, and I'm just going to drag any picture into it, right? So when you go to edit photo, you can come down to shadows, and then, there's some other options there. So I'm just going to come here, I'm going to go outline, right? So as I move this, nothing is changing about the image here, okay? It's not going to have a frame around it. Now you can, right now, why are you not moving at all? Oh, there it is. See, now it's moving. So you can see like it's to the inside. It's not to the outside of it. It's inside the frame. That's not what most people want. They want it to the outside. So with Canva, you have to do a hack. So you have to take the image outside of, well, let's say outside of Canva, but you have to save it as a PNG and then bring it back into Canva so that you can put the outline. I'm going to come down here because that's what we did with this one. I'm going to go ahead and just add a page, and I'm going to bring this down here. And we're going to go over to the photo. I'm going to take this. Well, actually, I'm just going to hit none. I don't know why. I'm having a delay with my computer. Okay. There we go. So see, now it has none. When you go to edit photo, we're going to go to shadows. There we go. And we go outline. You make that outline whatever color you want. Oh, it's the mom picture is still up. Haha, sorry. My apologies. Because it's the same image and it's actually the Canva page, I didn't even realize that it was still there. So my bad. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to show that again. And see, this is what happens when you're out of practice of being online and doing live videos. Things like this happen. So I'm just going to put any image in here. So I was showing the example of what happens when you do a frame. You cannot just fill it. It has to be a frame. So we put that in there and we go to edit photo. We go to shadows. We go to outline. I can make this outline bigger, but it's not going to go to the outside. It will basically do a version where it's to the inside. If I start to play around with the shadow, see, there we go. I don't know. There's a weird delay for Canva right now. And so you see, it goes to the inside. It's not to the outside. All right. So what you have to do, I was explaining, which that part wasn't really showing anything on the screen, that once you design it and put it all together, that you have to save it as a PNG, bring that PNG back into Canva. And once it's brought back into Canva, you can go to that same photo edit photo option that affects where it's shadows, and you can add an outline or you can add a drop shadow. You cannot do both. If you want to have an outline as well as a shadow, you have to have a duplicate, which we're going to go through in this tutorial. All right. So you can see there, as soon as I hit drop shadow, the outline went away. So I'm going to click on it again, and you're going to see the outline come back. Again, I don't know why this is taking forever, but it is. But that's the way that you would normally have to do this. So also when you're doing it this way, that means that like if you're someone that's doing this for your business and you're taking orders for these, that means that every time you have to bring in images, you're going to have to go bring them in, set them up, save the image, save the word mom or nana or mother, whatever it is, with their pictures in it, to bring it back in, and then go through the process of putting the background on it, well, putting the outline on it, putting a shadow, and so forth and so on. That can be pretty annoying, to kind of keep going back and forth. And every time that you're saving that as that, that PNG, you're taking up space on your hard drive or your cloud drive, wherever you're saving your files to. So now you have an unnecessary file that you have to remember to go in and delete. So I'm going to show you how to do this, where you can have a true template set up, and all you have to do is just fill it in for each order. And then once it's completed, you're only saving that JPEG or that PNG or PDF, however you're saving it. You only have to save it one time versus having to keep saving and 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 saving. All right. And so that's how this one is set up. I can change. So I can change this image here. I can bring this one over and I can change it, and I can change it. I still have my outline. I have a shadow back there. I can click on the outline and I'm able to change that to a different color, which I have to actually grab that one. So let's go layers. Let's grab that one, edit photo. I'm going to go to shadows and we're going to change that color. So I'm able to truly treat this like a template and change everything on the go. I don't have to, like I said, save it and bring it back in. Make sense? All right, cool beans. Darcel says, makes sense. Cool beans. All right. So we're going to go through both ways and you can decide which one you want to try. As a beginner, some people will do it what I like to call the hack way. And then this is still a hack, but it's a workable template compared to doing the multiple saves. All right. So I'm just going to add another page to this to just design this from scratch. There are a lot of templates that are available. Some people are selling them. You can get them on Creative Fabrica. I think I've seen some where the links and things were shared in different groups. Now, depending on the font that you want, that is like if you want a customized font or a specific type of font, that is something that is created outside of Canva, to where those letters are converted into frames with outside programs. But Canva itself does have a lot of letter frames. You're going to go over to Elements, and you're going to come up to the top, well, the search bar, and you're going to type in letter frame. And we can go see all, and it's going to, show you what all the frames they have that are alphabet, and you can see the different styles. Now for this one, a letter that's a little bit more thicker, bolder, works better, giving you more surface space for your pictures and things like that. But if you want to try this out with any of the other letters, have at it. So there you go. I'm going to just do the traditional, standard letters. So we're going to come back up here. I'm going to click on M, and then O. I'm going to take this M, pull it over, move this M. We're going to make sure that they are aligned. Actually, it can be a little bit closer. Let's bring this in. And they can be as close as you want them to be. And then we're going to make it bigger. You can make it smaller. I'm not giving like a specific size or anything like that, because you're not limited to a size. I see that in groups all the time. Well, what size did you use? What size did you use? There's no specific size. If you're going to do it for a frame, then you want to decide on the frame that you're going to use first versus designing it and then trying to find a frame, because that frame might be expensive or more than you want to spend. There were a lot of like sales and different things like that for various frames. Or if you're going to put it on a canvas, if you're going to do canvas, then you have to set it up to where you are also accounting for it wrapping around the canvas. There's a lot of factors when it comes to how you size it. I'm just showing the general idea of how you design it. All right, so no specific sizes for this tutorial. All right. So now that we have this, normally you would drag, bring in, you to upload it, or you can copy and paste, you can drag it in, and you would bring in your images. So I'm just going to drop in a picture of my mom, my grandma, my kid, me at my wedding, and then we're just going to do my grandmother in this one. This is also a really, really important tip. So I want you guys to take note of this. We are at 16 minutes. So that's how we'll know the timestamp of when this occurred. We're at 16 minutes. Okay. So you see my mom's face is cut off. I really don't want MJ in this picture because it's about the moms. So I'm going to double click on the image and I'm going to expand it. Unlike Silhouette Studio, you cannot stretch it and, shrink it down. Like, you can't really do it the same way you do it in Silhouette Studio. So just going to expand it and then I'm going to move it. You are still limited in how you can move it around. But that's more of like a more detailed, like Canva type tutorial. So, all right, I think here, because I don't want my mom's eye to be covered up. So there should be fine. I'm going to click off. I'll probably move her over just a little bit more. All right, there we go. All right, same thing. I don't need me, my husband, or my dad. So I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to make it bigger to where both of my grandmas are centered on that. And I don't really want my boobs at the top of the of the O. So we're going to just take those out of frame and move my grandmothers over a little bit, which means part of their head is going to get cut off. And then my grandma on this side, we're going to just see when it's the same size, you cannot move it. Silhouette Studio, you will be able to pan this wherever you want. In Canva, you can't. So we're going to just increase the size and then you can move it. The picture has to be bigger than like the frame that's there. So it's going to make it a little bit bigger and then we can move that. All right, so that's how you would do that to get all your pictures in it. You cannot put the outline. We did that demonstration. So typically what you would have to do is go over to share. You're going to go to download. PNG, you want it to be a PNG. You want to check transparent background. And then for the pages, I don't need all of them. I just need page 4. Okay, because that's the one I'm working on right now. And I'm going to hit done and then download. Now I'm using a Windows system. For Macs. I'm not sure if you guys can drag and drop. You may have to just go in and go to upload files, go find that file, and then bring it into the system. If you're working from your phone, you're going to have to go in, go to uploads, or not phone, just any mobile device. You're going to have to go to uploads, bring it in. But because I'm on the computer, I'm going to go up here to where my downloads are and then just click and drag it in. And it's going to put it in the upload. Oh, wait a minute. Wrong one. Hold on. That is not. Oh, that's the right one. I don't know why the wrong image came up over here. All right. So we're going to just do a new page. You are going to have to resize it. Okay. And now we can go to edit photo, go to shadows, go to outline, and place an outline. Make it as thick or thin as you want it to be. Change the color, change the opacity on it, and things of that nature. Okay. Now, if you wanted to put a shadow on this, You don't have to now save it. I'm seeing a lot of people do that in like the various groups that I'm in. Now that they want to add a shadow, they will save this as a PNG with the outline on it and then come back in to do the drop shadow, because as you can see, you cannot have both. You can't have both. So I'm going to go back to outline. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. What you can't do is duplicate it. And you're going to add a drop shadow to that one. Well, actually, I should have did the one behind it. So let's just layer, send it to the back. Now, with Canva, as you change the size of something, like if you put a shadow, you put something on it, like it makes it smaller. Let me move this down real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's move you down. So instead of just adjusting the shadow, it makes the actual element smaller. So if I go like this, you see how it's moving. If I go like that, it makes it smaller. It's changing the size of it. So you have to first decide how, and look, even with me changing the blur, it's making it even smaller. You have to, oh, I want to change the angle. You have to decide exactly how you want it to look, the size of it, the blur of it, the distance, where it's going to be at. You have to decide all of that beforehand so that you're not adjusting it anymore. Because what you'll need to do is, all right, for this one up here, I'm going to go ahead and crop it down right to the edges of the outline. Because if not, every time I go to select the back one, it's going to keep selecting the front one. So we're just going to crop down that negative space. And now I can easily click on this one, which I can actually crop down some of this negative space too. But whenever you're working with blurs, you don't want to necessarily do that because it may look a certain way on screen, but once you print it out, you'll see that really sharp line of demarcation because those colors really do feather out. All right, so now I'm going to place this. So what I actually like to do is bring it to the front. I'm going to take this one and bring it on top because it's going to be easier for me to see where I'm placing it. So I'm going to line it up and I'm going to adjust it. Then I just have to keep moving it, keep adjusting it because the sizes are not going to be the same because of the shadow or the blur part. In order to move this in smaller increments, you have to zoom in and pick a spot that you want to focus on. That's the only way that you're going to be able to move this in smaller increments and really get it to fit. Okay. Come on. I don't know why my computer has such a delay today. Okay. Can you guys still hear me? I'm trying to figure out, did my whole computer freeze? Are you guys able to? Nope, I can still do that. So I think Canva is just frozen. Because if you guys can still hear me, that means Canva is just frozen. Another one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan, like you never know, like if they're working on something, is something happening on their server, and now you're at a stoppage for like doing your work. Yeah, see, I can't move anything here. Let's see, is this one? Okay, so this one's working. It's just this one is not working. Okay, there we go. We're back in action now. So I'm just going to change the color on this just so you can see a difference between the outline and the shadow. Right? So you don't have to save it. I did all of that to show you do not have to save it, because that's one of the things I'm seeing in a lot of the videos, like on TikTok and groups and things like that, saying that every time you want to make a change, that you have to save it as a PNG and then bring it back in. All right. So with this, you still get the results. Now you can add your background image to it. Like you can lock these two. So if I were to select these and lock them, you know, they're not going to change or anything like that. And then I could still, here, let's put my grandmother's sexy girl picture back here. And then we're just going to layer, send to the back. You can adjust your transparency. There's ways to add colors, all of those different things, right? So that's how you would do that, but you cannot change this. When you are ready to do this for someone else, you are going to have to go back to square one and do all of those steps over again, unless you do it the professor way. So are we ready to learn how to do it the professor way? Let me know in the comments if you're ready to learn how to do it the professor way. Are you afraid that the professor way is going to be harder? Or do you think the professor way will actually make your life easier? Yes, I'm ready to learn the professor way. Yes, 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 yes. Easier, easier. But y'all know I'm a very technical person, right? Some people say that I'd make it too complicated. We'll see. But as a newbie, if you feel like the next way is a bit much, you can definitely do it this way. If it's easier to just, you know, understand how to do it this way and at least get your projects done, definitely, you know, go ahead and do it this way. All right. So now we're going to do it the professor way. It's going to add another page. All right. We're going to basically do the same thing. M, M, O. I'm going to just space it evenly. Okay. And we're going to come up here to the color. So you're going to go to the color and you're going to choose a color. I would say white, gray. I mean, you could do black, but it might show. So any of those colors, right? Just for the sake that you can tell that I'm going to do something different, because I'm not sure you saw the white ones on there. I'm just going to make this gray. Okay. Now we're going to do what we did the first time. So you still have to save. So we're going to go to share. We're going to go download, PNG, transparent background, and deselect all. We're going to do page 6. Done. And download. You're going to bring that back in, whether you have to upload it if you're on a mobile device or however you bring it in from a Mac. I'm in Windows, so I'm going to be able to drag it back down. But before I drag that into frame here, I'm going to undo. I need my frames back. Once you add color to this, you cannot, it's no longer a frame, right? So if I hit backspace, it's going to delete it. It's not a frame anymore. So you have to undo so that it goes back and you see the horizon and you know that it's a frame again. Once we have it back as a frame, we're going to lock each one of these frames. Okay. Oh, wait, I don't think I locked this one. All right. And then you're going to bring in that PNG that you just saved. So we're going to, for me, I'm going to come up to the top, drag and drop that into place. Okay, so we have that. We want to now go in and put our outline. So we're going to go to shadows. We're going to go to outline. We're going to make that whatever size we want. The color does not matter. It's about the size of it. That's what you're trying to get, right now is the size. And then try not to change that, because if you change it, then you're going to have to change all of these layers. Oh, wait a minute. You are not locked. And this is why we have to lock it. So see here, it's not going to try and jump into it. But if we move it, it's going to try and jump into that letter. So this is why it's important to lock it. I guess I didn't actually hit lock. Okay. So now that we have that there, we're going to go position and bring that behind it, or you can right click and just send it to the back. And we're going to resize it. I'm going to bring, what the heck? Why does it keep freezing on me? All right, it's frozen on me again. I don't know what's going on with my computer or Canva. Not sure which one, but it's acting cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Let's see. Nope, still frozen. All right. Well, while this is thinking and processing, what are your thoughts so far on what we're doing here? Are you starting to visualize maybe what I'm about to do? Because it's really what I did in the first one. The only major difference is I can customize. I'm going to be able to customize the outline, the shadow, and the images without having to do a save every single time. You're only going to have to do that save one time with that template. All right, let's see. Oh, come on. What's going on here? All righty, let's see. Can we move now? No, I mean, it's letting me, that's so weird. It's letting me move this, but it's not, I don't know, it wouldn't let me move anything else. All right, we're just gonna go like this. I was trying to zoom in. Maybe it's something when I zoom. Yeah, see, every time I zoom in, it's freezing up. So I'm gonna stick right here. Hopefully you guys can see it. All right, so I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna pull it back behind the M. And this is where we're gonna do, just like we did before, I'm going to size it to fit directly behind the M. And it's going to want to jump around some. This is where zooming in definitely is something that you want to do, just like zoom in, so that way you can move it in smaller increments. Oh, come on. Now, normally it moves in smaller increments. All right, something really funky is going on. All right, so I need to make this a little bit bigger, and I think now it is right behind the front one. Okay, and once we do that, we're going to, the one that we have the outline on, you're going to duplicate that. And on that one, we're going to go over to edit photo. You can either add a blur to the outline that's already there and then change it, or you can go to drop shadow. Okay, or you can go to drop shadow. It's a little bit different, like, so you can see kind of sort of when you add the blur, it's all the way around it. Whereas when you do the drop shadow, it's off to the side. Okay. But you want to figure out how much of a blur you want to do, how big you want it, what distance. You want to just figure all that out first. And then you're going to do the same exact thing as before, which is to line it up to fit directly behind the frame. Uh-oh. So it does take a little patience for this part, But the joy of this is you're only going to have to do it once. You're not going to have to do it multiple times. Once you get it, come on. Once you get it lined up, you're going to be good. Okay. Okay. Trying to get this like spot on. We'll see. I mean, the shadow layer doesn't really matter because most of that is going to be covered up anyway. So I don't know why I'm like bugging over the shadow layer. So now that we have our shadow layer kind of like where we want it, I'm going to go to position and just move that to the back, move mom to the back. Now you see how that's shaping up to where we fully see. Like I said, the middle part is not even going to matter because there's a layer in front of it. I don't even know why I was tripping on that one. But we now have our frames and we can fill those in. We can lock the back one. So I'm going to actually go in and pull down the negative space. So I'm just going to crop out that negative space. I'm doing that on the outline layer, not the blur layer, because we don't want to crop that down because we may have end up with a sharp line of demarcation. But now that we have that, we're going to click on the outline. Well, you don't have to lock it because if you want to change it, you don't want it locked. But if you feel like it's going to move around, you can lock it. But now I can fill in my images. So we're going to unlock each one of these. And I can now fill them in and do the exact same thing. Double click. Resize and pan. Double click. Resize and pan. Double click. Resize and pan. Okay. And now we're going to click on the outline layer, edit photo, shadows, change the color. Okay. We're going to go to the blur one, change the color. And then, like I said, you can still technically add your other image to the background. Layer, send to the back. All right, everything that is here, I'm going to just pull it down. And then you can add stuff around it. So that's the professor way where you can change out the pictures. I have my family there. I can now go in, add Michelle Obama and her mom. And this is now truly a template that is customizable. And you, like I said, you don't have to keep saving it and coming out, saving it, going back, saving it, going back. You don't have to do that. So that is how you would do that in Canva. Any questions? Well, everything we're doing for this one is in Canva. For Silhouette Studio, it is definitely a lot easier to do in Silhouette Studio, and you are able to do this with any font that you want. It doesn't have to be a specific frame when you're doing it in Silhouette Studio, but for Canva, you have to find the frame, and you're limited to whatever frames are available there. or whatever frames you download from either Creative Fabrica, or you purchase from Etsy, or you get it from a group. Which way do you prefer? So someone did say, at least they said, definitely prefer the professor way. For everyone else, which way do you prefer? Hey, just say. We're not doing Silhouette. I'm talking about Canva. Between the first way that I showed it and this way, we're not talking about Silhouette Studio at all. We showed two different ways in Canva. Today's discussion is all on Canva. It's okay. Hello, INKcredible Greetings. I missed the first part. Yeah. So today it was just, well, in this particular tutorial, this particular demonstration, it was all Canva, because it's a question that's come up a lot with this mom frame and or canvas. With this trending, the questions are coming up a lot. How do you add outlines and things of that nature? Can this be done with the free version? Yes, it can, because anything that has a crown on it is pro. All right. So when you go to your shadows, or just to edit your photos, that is not a pro feature. So you're going to be able to do this with pro. Now I don't remember. I believe, no, I think SVG and PDF might be pro, but saving as a PNG is standard. I don't believe that's a pro feature. I have pro, so it's kind of, I've had pro since the beginning. I've never worked in the free one, so I don't quite remember. Okay, no. So, oh yeah, so you won't be able to do this. To save as a transparent background, that is a pro feature. So nope, you cannot do this from the free version, or at least, yeah, that way you can't do it. You have to have the pro version in order to save with a transparent background. I think the only thing you can probably do is, oh, no, I could have sworn you can save something. These all have a crown, which means pro. Yeah, see, I thought this was regular. I know SVG is pro, PDF is regular. Like, that's the free version. Oh, I guess maybe the pro part is being able to change the size and the quality when it comes to JPEG. But for PNG, you definitely have to have pro in order to be able to save with a transparent background. If you don't save with a transparent background, you have to remove the background. Now you can actually need pro to use the background remover, or you're going to go over to remove.bg, try to remove it there, bring that PNG back in. So you'll have to do it that way. If you don't have pro, pick a color like black for the letters, go ahead and download it. You're not gonna be able to have a transparent background. Use remove.bg, which is going to, there's a free version of it. You're going to bring that back in. You're going to do everything else the same way, where you're going to basically resize it. Would it be easier in Silhouette Studio? But of course, the only thing you can't do in Silhouette Studio is add a drop shadow. You can do a vector shadow, but the shadow that is blurred off, you cannot do that in Silhouette Studio. That's the only thing, but everything else, 1,000 times easier in Silhouette Studio. The professor way. I was actually working on this when I saw you were going live. I'm going to try it the professor way. Awesome. Hey. The professor way, because it cuts out a lot of extra steps once you have the template set up. Exactly. Where do you send it to print? Some people are printing it themselves on their own printers with glossy paper. Some people are, taking it to Kinko's or Office Depot. Some people have printed it on photo paper. Had it printed out photo from the Walgreens photo. So anywhere that you print, you can print it out at. You can send it to print. There's no specific place to have it printed at. Well, if you have Photoshop, then there's no need to even do it in Canva. So this is for those who are utilizing Canva. That's what this whole one is about. Those who are using Canva. If you have Photoshop, there's no need to do this at all because you can do it all in Photoshop. You're going to type out your letters. You're going to have them on individual layers. You're going to take your picture, put it above it, do a clipping mask. You're going to use your layer effects or your layer styles, and you're going to go to stroke, add the stroke to it, and add your drop shadow. Like you can do all of that all under your layer styles. So it's going to be, Photoshop is totally different. I wouldn't even worry about, not say downgrading and coming to over here, but you have Photoshop. So yeah, I mean, I don't really necessarily use Canva for designing, but this is a question that was asked of me. So I end up doing the video. So it's video, 1,000 times easier. I've actually done it, but I know that people are looking specifically for these. That's the thing that I'm learning to do in this new season, especially this quarter, is even though I have shown you guys how to crop images to text or how to just fill it in and do it as a pattern, the average crafter now, because this is what's trending, they're searching for videos that have that in the title, even though they're like, there's a generic video that just teaches you about how to do that. And you would just do the same thing. We have videos about adding offsets to have outlines or using your line, your line thickness. So I have done several videos on this already over the past couple of years, but I will have one that's going to be Silhouette, from Silhouette Studio, that's going to basically show the same thing, everything except the drop shadow, because you cannot do drop shadows in Silhouette Studio. All right. Oh, wow. I actually didn't even, I mean, time flies. Like to me, it doesn't even feel like we've been on for 47 minutes. It does not feel like we have been on for 47 minutes. But I don't want this to be drawn out. I mean, there's a lot of good nuggets and things in here and things that, like resizing the picture. We did a full on training on doing this type of design in Canva. And there are tips in here that will help you with other designs as well, which is why, it's a bit of an extended video. It's not a tutorial. It's basically a mini class. But if there are no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and close out. Yeah, definitely did. Yes, definitely give this video a thumbs up, guys. No matter which platform you are watching on, give the video a thumbs up. Please do share, preferably from the YouTube channel. You can share it from a YouTube channel to Facebook. Share it with a friend. Recommend it. Give the video a thumbs up. If you're watching the playback, still engage, still leave comments. That definitely helps the platform. All right. You are very welcome. All right, I may go live right after this one for the Silhouette version. So I'm going to probably actually create a thumbnail for it. That way, they will know the difference. But it's going to be on the Silhouette Anonymous YouTube channel. So that's where that one will be at, Silhouette Anonymous YouTube channel, because that's going to be a Silhouette one. So if you're not subscribed over there, make sure that you go over to Silhouette Anonymous on YouTube and subscribe. All right, y'all. Until next time, I keep forgetting to do this. I'm just so used to always teaching. Make sure that you guys visit our website, shop.hsink365.com. Here is where you will find access to our classes, our honestly speaking products, our templates, files, things of that nature. We have the foam board display boxes. So most people say vending. I don't have like the selection panel part on the side. Ooh, excuse me. But if you saw my boxes from Ziny Mani's birthday, those are some of them are uploaded to the vault, and we're going to have them on the website as well. So if you're looking to do any of the foam board display boxes, some new templates are on its way. But this way you can get all of our sublimation products. Our sublimation paper allows you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees, as fast as 30 seconds. No butcher paper required for just about every application. As long as there's no exposed ink, you don't have to use a cover sheet. Our paper will not bleed through the back. Orders before 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time get processed the same day. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be INKcredible. Peace.